Okay, so I did a thing today. I have never done anything like this, y'all. I did like a photo shoot. So my husband took these photos. He filmed everything. He was like my wardrobe. He was like everything. Cuz this is like not something I've ever done before, y'all. Like this dress cost more than my wedding gown. Now, granted, I got my wedding gown for like 250 euros because it was used, and I found it in like a weird tourist shop that she happened to be a seamstress and just had it in the back randomly. Anyway, and I bought it because I got period blood all over it in the dressing room, so I had no option. But look at me! Look at me! I even got to use my skates in the photo shoot. I got to a couple different backgrounds. I got to wear one of my favorite shirts. I had like fans and hair dryers blowing on me. I had all this stuff happening. I also got to wear one of my favorite sweaters. But this is the part I actually want to talk about the most. I paid someone to do my makeup and my hair. Well, they didn't have to do much with my hair. I just got out of the shower. I let it just dry. That's how I do my hair. Because I don't know how to do my hair, and I just kind of like it like natural or whatever. But I've been thinking about this. I've talked about last week, I was trying to find like outfits for this photo shoot. So the photo shoot was a big deal to me because despite having been in, comedy and performing in New York and LA for, I don't even know, 12 or 13 years, I never paid for headshots. Never. Because I couldn't afford it. Now, granted, I've started to realize there's a lot of things that like I can't afford. It's because it's actually like really low self-value, low self-esteem, and having like serious issues around like self-worth and stuff. I probably could have even gotten like really cheap headshots, but I didn't even do that. I literally took a selfie in front of like a closet door and was like, that's my headshot. And I used that for like the whole time I was in New York and LA. It wasn't even a headshot. It was like my iPhone. No, it wasn't even an iPhone. I don't even know what it was. It was like just a normal camera because we didn't have iPhones back then. And so one of the things I've been trying to do is like really take myself seriously. My career is really impressive. Like I'm so proud of the stuff I've done. But if you looked at my website up until like 2 years ago, you would never believe that I had that I was professional writer or a storyteller, right? Definitely wouldn't believe that based on any headshots, or rather lack of headshots. So I'm like, I kind of feel like it's time that like I need to catch up with the things I'm proud of, because I'm just, again, and I think some of this there's a lot of stuff behind all this. I'm not going to go to psychoanalyze it all, but I do think that a lot of it is just like, I'm so afraid of coming off as like arrogant or like too proud. Like, look at me, So I'm always trying to like, just being like, I am confident, but I'm so afraid of being perceived as confident because I doubt myself all the time. I beat up on myself all the time. And then I remember when I interviewed this amazing storyteller who's actually like an Emmy nominated writer in Hollywood now. And when she tells stories on stage, they're brilliant, of course. And when I interviewed her, she said that she realized at a certain point in time that she was not going to make fun of herself on stage. She was always making fun of her weight because it's something she'd struggled with her whole life. And she would make fun of herself on stage to beat people to the punch. You know what I mean? Like if I just openly make fun of myself for whatever insecurity I have, then other people won't think that I don't know. You know what I mean? Because we all know that we're our own worst critic. A lot of women, I've realized, will tear themselves down on stage because we're like, hey, if you're thinking, judging me right now, well, hey buddy, I'm ahead of you. And she realized that when teenagers or young women were watching her perform, she was like, I don't want to normalize this. I don't want young women to think it's okay to talk about themselves this way. I don't want to set that example anymore. So I try to be more mindful when I'm like making fun of myself to make sure it's like it's not in that way of like perpetuating patriarchy and internalized misogyny. It's like we can make fun of ourselves. We have to be really careful how. And so it kind of goes into that. I'm like, oh, I don't want anyone to think that, I'm like be confident. So I just, screw that. Why? What am I doing? So it's a huge investment. I had to save a lot of money for this photo shoot. The dress, all those clothes are mine, but I bought those red jeans to go with that sweater. And the dress was the big deal because, I was like, I don't need a dress. I'll just wear my like rainbow stuff, my colorful stuff. Like that's like rainbow tornado, blah. And the photographer, she's amazing, by the way. I love her. And she had suggested something a little different to be bold. And I'm like, that's not who I am. I was like so difficult. Not really. I was always respectful. But, you know, one of the things I've learned as a writer and then as a writing coach, most people have no idea what goes into writing. They're like, hey, I'll just write a pitch and then I'll just write a book. Writing a book usually takes 3 years from writing the proposal to to selling the book to writing the book and then it going into public. It's like 2 to 3 years. You know, like whatever. I'm like, writing is so hard. And I know that. So I was like, okay, I need to respect this craft of photography. I'm not taking this seriously. I spent 5 hours at the mall one day, 5 hours that I did a video on, like, trying to go to like a different part of Lyon and all like at my like pretty woman moment where like women are like, oh, are you in the right store? Anyway, it all worked out because I had a lot of people who helped me. I forgot that I have friends in the film industry who are literal costume wardrobe people. I was like, this is what I'm thinking. They're like, yeah, but you need to add this, blah, blah. Anyway, it was a community effort. As most things in my life, when it's a community effort and I get people involved instead of trying to do it on my own, like the little American with my individualism, it always turns out better. But I just want to tell you a couple examples. So first of all, this is the first time I've ever paid someone to do my makeup because I don't wear makeup. I know even that is a privilege. And realizing, God, I can't believe women, like I have the privilege of walking through this world, and part of this is like pretty privilege, skinny privilege, I guess, white privilege, all kinds of privileges where I just can wake up and just dry my hair, just walk out, you know, because I don't care. And then I see how much time and energy so many other women have to invest in their clothing, their hair, their makeup, their nails. I went and got a manicure. You can't tell because my nails always look like crap, but I was like, okay, they may be like a close-up. So I got a manicure and a pedicure. That's the second time I've ever gotten a manicure in my life. And apparently I have some permanent stuff on here. Lady at the manicure place, whatever you call it, she asked me in French, like, you know, da-da-da, and I was like, I guess. So when the makeup lady today was like, no, you actually have to go to a salon to get this off. This is like permanent, God, what's it called? So I'm stuck with this stuff. Until, like, she was like, you can't take it off yourself. You have to get, oh, God. Anyway, that's on my toes, too. Oh, well. So the only other time I got my nails done was right before our wedding. Because I was like, oh, I guess we're going to have close-ups of, like, a ring and stuff, maybe. Like, maybe my nails should not look like crap. Because, you know, I bite my nails, but. And then this is the first time I've ever had my makeup done. The only other time I have worn makeup since I was 17 years old. For prom, because that prom was the only time I was like, okay, we're makeup. Like, once I, like, turned tomboy, like, you know, I grew up in the South. You know, I was supposed to be, like, you know, like a southern white girl, you know. I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. I just tapped out from spending 3 hours a day to get ready, you know, through my teen years up until, like, 16, I think. And then I was like, I'm done. This is so much time. It's expensive. I don't want to do that. And I just went full tomboy, with the exception of prom. I was like, okay, I'll do my hair. Blah. So, literally, today and our wedding are the only times I've had my makeup done since I was like 17. And I felt like such a clown. I like look in the mirror. I mean, and it's funny because Anthony was like, look great, babe. I mean, everybody was like, you look great. I had like the no makeup. The whole point was for photography, your face looks different. So you got to wear makeup. Even if you don't want it to look like you wear makeup, you have to do that because the lighting and blah. I don't understand all this stuff. But I felt like so old because I'm like, look at how my God, I was so hard on myself. I was like, I literally felt like a pig in lipstick, if that makes sense. Like, I don't mean that, like, I just mean, like, I felt like it was so weird. Then I saw the photos, and I looked so pretty. So anyway, I'm really proud of myself for pushing myself and doing all this stuff. And I was so out of my comfort zone, y'all. Like, getting me in a dress, I'm finally, like, embracing dresses now. Because I was like I went so far the tomboy route. A lot of that was about internalized misogyny, like wanting to be one of the boys and the cool girl, to be accepted in the outdoor world. And then eventually at a certain point, especially once I got married and kind of softened a little, because I'm not like, I could just relax. I was like, you know, actually, maybe I will like wear a dress every once in a while. Anthony doesn't care either way. He thinks I look beautiful and whatever. Today, he was just like, oh my God. Every day I fall in love with you more. But today, just watching, you're so good at these photos. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Because I forgot, oh yeah, I've been a performer for a long time. I'm used to being on stage. I'm not used to like holding a pose and being like, You know, I kept like slouching because I've got terrible posture. In terms of just being comfortable in a camera, it went really well. I'm so glad it's over. That shoot took months to prepare for. Who knew? Who knew photography's that hard? I respect photography so much more now. I finally leveled up, y'all. Yeah.